The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Now we actually have media people agitating for race riots in regard to the George Zimmerman trial. Because the prosecution, this trial is imploding. We have a media that is totally invested in Zimmerman being found guilty and hanged and then electrocuted and then drowned and then shot and then cremated for whatever happened to Trayvon Martin, who, if Obama had a son, that's what he would look like. But, so I thought electing Obama and re-electing Obama, none of this is going to happen anymore. I'm kind of sad. A little let down. Major disappointment. Such high hopes. I really thought there's going to be the end to all this. Let's go to the audio sound bites. We have a montage here of media and others sort of realizing that they're going to lose the Zimmerman case. So in addition to agitating for riots, the media is suggesting here that maybe get a conviction on a lesser charge. This guy is going to get convicted of something, by God. It was jaywalking with a racial intent.
What about manslaughter? What about the possibility that they could convict on a lesser charge?
If he gets convicted of manslaughter, it's actually as bad for him as second-degree murder.
They have a lesser charge there, manslaughter.
A compromise verdict for manslaughter.
Why not manslaughter?
Manslaughter, a compromise verdict.
Is it possible for the jury to, on their own, say, well, we don't think it's second-degree murder, but manslaughter?
A lesser included charge, which would be manslaughter.
Maybe better off with manslaughter.
Negligence, a negligent homicide, manslaughter, assault, something.
Isn't it amazing? Here comes the media begging, can we at least do manslaughter? Oh, my God, if we're not going to get murder one, can we get a manslaughter? This guy's got to get convicted of something. We're too invested in this. And short of a conviction, the media is saying, oh, it'd be so sad if we had riots. You can see what's being stoked out there. Here is Mark Garagos. You may remember the name. He's been a lawyer on TV for a long time. He's represented a lot of TMZ-type people. He's represented a lot of people low information voters follow and know who they are. I don't remember them. Was Garagos involved in a Michael Jackson trial? One Michael Jackson. I get Garagos confused with Gloria Allred and that whole L.A. legal bunch out there. Anyway, it's last night on CNN, special defense or self-defense or murder, the George Zimmerman trial. Yes, a CNN special, because the prosecution is imploding. And the legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin and criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos, during a panel discussion about the prosecution's strategery, Jeffrey Toobin says, why, as a prosecutor, would you call the defendant's best friend? Why would you do this? Why give the defendant's best friend a forum to say what a great guy George Zimmerman is? Why would the prosecution do that?
They're throwing the
case.
Oh, stop.
They're throwing the case.
Mark, why in the world would they be throwing the case?
Mark, I honestly believe at this point, after watching the cops do payback and everything else, I really think, and watching the prosecution sit there when Mark O'Mara asks questions that are beyond a reasonable doubt objectionable, and they don't object, they wait till the following day, I think they've just decided they're just going to phone this in, they're going to lose this and say, okay, you guys wanted us to file this case, we filed it.
Can I translate that for you? What Mark Garagos is saying is there never has been a case. Mark Garagos is saying that the prosecution was forced into this by the media, national media, local media, societal pressures. even local media, local law enforcement. Well, not so much local law enforcement, but the first state attorney on this case. And Garrigus saying the prosecutors, they don't have a case. They don't have a case. So what they're doing here, they're phoning it in. They're going to lose it. And they're going to say, look, we didn't have a case. You wanted us to file a case. There wasn't a case. We didn't have a guilty plea here, but you people demanded it. So we're giving it to you. And he's sincere. Because what's happening in this case, this witness is just one example. There have been 2 prosecution witnesses who have been better for Zimmerman than any of the defense witnesses that have been called. It really has been remarkable. There have been 2 witnesses called by the prosecution which destroyed the prosecution's case. I'm having a mental block, right? I can't remember off the top of my head, but so Garrigus saying, look, these guys are not this bad. You know, they're really not this. I mean, even small-town prosecutors in Florida are not this bad. They're phoning it in. They're doing the best they have because they don't have a case. They just did this because the societal pressure and the media pressure. And when it's all over, they're going to say, hey, look, you wanted us to file it, we filed it. You wanted us to prosecute it, we prosecuted it. But that's the best we had.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.